y'all, and welcome to today's video. I am going to be giving you speed reviews of tons of new products that I've been testing. I love testing new makeup videos, trying new products, first impressions, all of that, but it's so important for me to come back and follow up with y'all after I really have my full thoughts on products. It can definitely take some time. Some of these products I've been trying a few weeks, some of these longer than that, maybe a month or more, but I finally have my full thoughts and I'm ready to review these products with y'all. So if you're curious about any of these things, I have videos on my channel, demos, application, all of that, but this is going to be speed reviews on tons of new stuff. And if you're new here, I want to say, hey, my name is Heather and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. I do upload lots of new videos every single week, so I hope you will subscribe before you leave today. But I can't wait to tell you what I think. We have some winners, some new favorites, some stuff I'm going to get rid of, and everything in between. So let's jump into it. Okay, let's start off with a few primers that I want to review because I've been testing quite a few. So first up, let's talk about these L'Oreal primers. I have two here and I have thoughts. I bought these newly reformulated L'Oreal primers. I used to really love a lot of L'Oreal complexion products. I'm talking years ago. And something about them started to not work with my skin. So I really stopped using L'Oreal primers, foundations, all of that. But L'Oreal has since reformulated. And after looking at the ingredient list, I realized that a lot of ingredients that were harming my skin or irritating it weren't in the newly reformulated versions. So I decided to give these a try and I'm really glad that I did. So let's start off first by talking about the L'Oreal Paris Prime Lab up to 24-hour matte setter. Now this says it grips makeup, no shine, and skin looks rebalanced over time with 1% LHA and salicylic acid. I like this primer. I don't think it's the most mattifying or most gripping primer I've ever tried. I think it's nice. It gives a very smooth canvas for my face. It does kind of mattify when I first put it on, but I don't feel like it does a whole lot more than that. So for me, this primer is okay. I don't dislike it, but it's not one that I want to reach for a lot. I feel like this is more of a more like natural matte primer. It's definitely not going to grip the makeup as well as like my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer or the Milk Hydro Grip, but it does make a smooth canvas. It's just not one that I'm going to reach for over primers that I love more. Like I said, it has that skin-like matte, so it does prep and prime the skin. It's just nothing revolutionary in my opinion. Now this primer I like a little bit more. This is the L'Oreal Paris Prime Lab Advanced Derm Primer up to 24-hour pore minimizer. Blurs pores and skin looks smoother over time with 1% AHA, LHA, BHA complex. This one I actually like a little bit more. This is the primer that I wore today and it definitely fills in and kind of blurs the skin. So even if you're wanting to do no makeup, maybe you could use this as like the last step in your skincare to kind of smooth over your pores because it definitely gives that effect. And that's all it really does for me. It smooths out my pores, it smooths out things like that. If I have texture, it just kind of glides over very nicely and it preps the skin well for makeup. I like this one. If I could only keep one of these, I would definitely keep this one. I don't think it does a lot of like gripping or extending the wear of my makeup, but it does create a nice, smooth canvas. Now, I think L'Oreal's doing something. I think L'Oreal is onto something. So while I'm talking about those primers, let's talk about the foundation. So I bought the new L'Oreal True Match Super-Blendable foundation. So this is the reformulated version of their True Match. And I was hesitant to try it again because it's been years since I've tried L'Oreal products for complexion. And with the new reformulation, I was like, let me try this one. This is beautiful. Now, I do have oily skin. I'm 35 and I live in a humid place. This week for me, the temperatures have been between 72 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit and the humidity is high. So I have to use this foundation with a gripping primer. My favorite way to use this is with my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I think it works so well with that. If I don't use a gripping primer, it doesn't break up on my skin, but I do get pretty oily about 8 to 10 hours in. With a gripping primer and a nice powder, it will last all day on me, 12 to 16 hours, and it has a very skin-like finish. It's not matte, it's not overly glowy, it just has that kind of natural skin-like look. So I bought N6 and I have a olive warm undertone. Sometimes warm foundations can be a bit too warm for me, so I decided to go with N6 and I think this works really well. But then L'Oreal actually sent me a couple of shades as well, and they sent me W6. So I have been mixing these two and I really feel like I can create my perfect shade with the mix of these. But if I didn't have this to mix, N6 definitely works for me too. I'm so excited to have a new drugstore foundation that I really like, that's not a matte finish, but that's more of a natural skin-like finish. I would definitely say this is medium buildable coverage and looks so beautiful. Now let's talk about the KVD Lock-It Pore-Refining Primer. So this primer actually makes me think a lot of the L'Oreal. This one is a little more gripping maybe, but if I'm choosing between the two, I would actually go with the L'Oreal. This primer, like I said, it is a little more gripping than the L'Oreal, but not so much so that I think it justifies the price of this primer. I don't know if maybe you have normal skin or even dry skin, maybe you will like this primer a bit more. But for me, with my oily skin, I think it's a nice primer. Like, it would get a B. If I were grading this, if I put my homeschool mom hat on and I'm giving it a grade, I would give it a B, not an A. And I feel like for a high-end primer, I want it to do a little bit more. It's very nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not like filling in my pores and gripping my makeup so much so that I think it's worth. I think this one's around $10 more than these. So I would go more with the L'Oreal if you were considering this primer. Now let's talk about the KVD foundation since we're talking about the primer. This is the Good Apple Full Coverage Serum Foundation. 100% this is full coverage, but it's a very skin-like finish to it, leaning more matte, but not completely flat matte. It's really pretty, but my problem with this is it looks beautiful at first. At 8 hours in, I definitely have to blot, and at about 10 hours in, I need to wash my face. My oils come through way too much. So if you do have very oily skin, I don't know how long the wear time's gonna be on you, but I tested it over the weekend, trying to really get my full final thoughts. I'm like, you know, I've been testing this, I've been trying this, I like it, I don't love it. So I made sure throughout the day to really look at myself, and at the 10-hour mark, I was way more oily than I felt comfortable with. Like, it was full on my cheeks, everything was just super duper shiny. So I like this. If I had something to go to, like a wedding or a party or something like that, where as long as my makeup looks good for the first 4 to 6 hours and then I'm coming home and washing it off, I like this. It's so pretty, and that's why it's so hard for me to be like, this isn't a favorite, because at first it's so beautiful on the skin. The finish is beautiful, the coverage is beautiful, it's not too thick, nothing like that, but it just doesn't last the longest on my oily skin with my lifestyle where I'm constantly doing things, moving, I'm outside, I'm inside, I'm running here, I'm running there. I'm too busy for a foundation like that. I have foundations that last longer on me, so while I like that foundation, I will continue to use it here and there. It's definitely not a favorite. Okay, let's talk about this Dior foundation and primer. I have been testing these probably the longest because they're at a luxury price point. I was being a bit critical of these, really putting them to the test even longer, because I'm like, I love these, but they're so expensive. I love these, but they're so expensive. But I love these. Like, these are a new favorite. So this is the Dior Forever Velvet Veil Primer. Now, I'm pretty sure in the last speed reviews is when I reviewed the new Dior concealer. I'm still loving that. And because I love that, it convinced me to buy these two. But I don't think I followed up reviews for y'all. This primer, beautiful, beautiful canvas for makeup. It smooths everything. I feel like it just perfects the base to go in with the foundation on top. I feel like my makeup wear time is amazing with both of these. I've used this with different foundations. I've used this with different primers. I love them both. So this is a 24-hour blurring matte primer, and this one I actually do feel like does blur and does matte for a long time. And this foundation, the Dior Forever, this is the matte one, transfer proof 24-hour foundation. This is in 4WO. I love Dior's shades and descriptions. They describe things so well. So 4 warm olive, beautiful. It's the foundation I have on today. I can have my foundation on for 16 hours and it's still gonna look great. So these are at a luxury price point, but I love them so much. I can totally see myself actually using those up and then going to repurchase. They're that good. Now, I've been testing this Tarte C concealer. I have 2 different shades. I ordered this, I want to say it came with a QVC thing I ordered, because I've ordered several things from Tarte on QVC lately. And I think this concealer is on sale at like Sephora right now. So this concealer is fine. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just fine. I don't have any strong emotions about it. It just doesn't make me like, oh, I love it. But every time I wear it, like, my makeup looks nice. It's fine. But I'll use it and I won't worry about repurchasing. Okay, I also have the Tarte Glow Light Skin Filter. I really like these. I have a deeper shade to use for like warming up, and then I have a brighter shade that's more my skin tone. So I really like using these as a primer. I know a lot of people like to use products like this, like the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, like the e.l.f., whatever their version of this was called. I can't remember off the top of my head. A lot of people like to use these as like standalone, lightweight kind of, not foundation's the wrong word, but just a skin tint. I have oily skin. I cannot do that. My face has to be set down with powder. If you don't have to set your face with powder, that's amazing. I cannot do that, or I can feel it on my skin. But I think these are really, really beautiful. They don't irritate my skin in any way. I like to use these underneath makeup as like a glowy primer if I'm going to go in with something more matte, but I still want a beautiful glow, because even though I am oily, some days I don't want matte skin. I want to really glow, and these are really beautiful for that. I like the packaging. I like the applicator. Really pretty. Now, along that same line, I bought the Kosas Glow IV Vitamin-Infused Skin Enhancer. I'm shocked by how much I enjoy this. This I thought was going to be like the Tarte, like the Charlotte Tilbury, like the e.l.f. This actually has more sparkle to it. This is more of a gel consistency. It's definitely a liquid, but it's not as liquidy as these other products. It definitely has that more gel-like consistency. I put this on, I did the L'Oreal pore primer today, and then I took this, and I just took this kind of like right in here where maybe I would want some highlight on my face, a little down my nose, on my chin, and then I went in with the Dior foundation, which is a more matte foundation. So I feel like my pores are looking blurred today, but then I'm strategically glowy. I really like this. Now, this does definitely have more sparkle than the Charlotte Tilbury, the e.l.f., the Tarte that I mentioned earlier. This has some sparkle to it. So it's also beautiful as a liquid highlighter. But if you don't like a little fine sparkle, you're not going to like this. I really like this. Again, it's the Glow IV Vitamin-Infused Skin Enhancer, and I have the shade Radiate. It says it's sheer and the shade is medium golden. I'm surprised because I don't have a lot of things from Kosas that I love. I don't know that I have anything that I love from them, but this one I love. Okay, the last primer, I think. I've been testing a lot of primers. This is the Nude Sticks Blot and Blur Matte Stick. I bought this because I saw Robert Welsh use this. So Robert Welsh here on YouTube does do tutorials and reviews and things, but he's a professional makeup artist working on clients. So I saw him use this, and he has oily skin as well. And he used this under foundations. If you are looking for just blurring and a little bit of mattifying, this is beautiful for the pores. It's really cool packaging too, because you just kind of put it on your pores. I pat it in with my finger, and it's beautiful. I like this. I don't regret this purchase at all. I really enjoy it. I think it's quick, convenient. If I'm using a primer that is like gripping or something like that, but I still want to blur the pores, I can use this, and I've really been enjoying that. Okay, let's talk about this Melt Brow Trio that I bought. So Melt launched this, and I didn't immediately purchase, but I was looking on the Melt site, and I'm like, let me buy these brow products. Let me test them out. I was curious because I love Melt as a brand. So these items are available individually at Sephora. I've seen them at some retailers, but I just bought the bundle from the Melt site. But let's talk about these individually because I have different thoughts on these items. So first up is the Melt Perfectionist Brow Pencil. I bought mine in the shade Dark Brown. This is one of those that has a slight angle to it. It's not a tiny micro pencil. It is small, but it's not as small as I like. So I did use this in my brows today, and I like it. I don't love it. I'm going to use it up, but I'm not going to repurchase. It definitely doesn't beat my $6 Morphe micro brow. I'd rather use that. And then I bought the Perfectionist Ultra Fine pen. Now this isn't a universal shade. I'm using this today too, and I really like this. I'm gonna use it up. It's very fine, but the thing is, I have pens from NYX like this that I like just as much. I don't think it's any better than the one from NYX. I also love my Urban Decay Brow Blade that has the micro pencil and the pen on the same side, like on the same product, different sides. So I like this. I'm going to use it up, but it's not something I'm going to be like, oh, I have to repurchase this specific product because there's nothing crazy unique about it. Now, as far as the brow gel goes, this is called the Clear Brow Gel Max Hold. I like it. I don't love it. I am comparing everything now to my Patrick Ta Major Brow Lamination. This isn't as good as the Patrick Ta. It doesn't give me the same amount of hold. Although it is really good, if I'm picking between the two, I'm going for the Patrick Ta. It's just what it is. I did recently buy the One Size new lip liners. They're called the Lip Snatcher Precision Lip Filler Pencil. I bought the shade Pink Remix. I really like this pencil. It reminds me a lot of the ABH lip pencils. I'm wearing it today. I think it's really good. So this is a sharpenable lip pencil. It definitely reminds me of the ABH, MAC, products like that. I really like it. I'm pretty sure this is a little less expensive than the ABH and the MAC. I really like this shade. I've been reaching for it a lot. I think it's really beautiful. Okay, I have a couple of powders that I've been testing out. First up is the Juvia's Place. The name of the product is not on here, but it's their new like matte powder foundation. Now, I don't wear powder foundations. They're not my favorite. If I am not going to do a liquid foundation or a cream or something like that, I'll just skip foundation. I like this to buff and set my face. It is matte, so it does lock things in. I like to just take a large fluffy brush, not to add coverage, but just to finish things off. And I'll keep it away from like my under eye, but I'll take the big fluffy brush and just buff it in to make sure I have a nice kind of seamless but set face. So I've really been enjoying it for that. I've done that quite a few times on my channel and Get Ready With Me's and stuff if you want to see what I mean. But I have the shade Cameroon. And then I bought the NARS, what's it called? Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder. Now, the NARS Soft Matte Powder is one of my holy grail foundations. I love it so much. I have it in like 3 different shades, so no matter what time of year it is, I have a shade that will match me. So I was very excited about the powder. And while I think the powder is nice, let me grab a brush and we'll kind of like touch up the face. But I think it's nice. I don't love it more than my NYX High Glass powder. This has a bit more of a tint to it. Not my High Glass, I'm sorry, my NYX HD finishing powder to set kind of the under eyes and stuff. I think this is a great touch-up powder like I'm doing today, where I'm like, you know what? Let me just kind of powder a little bit. So like you see me do here, that's what I think this powder for me is best used as. And because the compact is so slim, I also think it's perfect for this, for throwing in your bag, your car, whatever, taking it on the go. I don't love to touch up my makeup. I'm gonna do it in the morning and be done with it. But every once in a while, there are those times where you're like, you know, I'm not going to redo my makeup. I just want to touch it up. So you can blot, and then I like using the powder for that. A lot of times I'll sit down, I'll do my makeup, and then I'll have to do other things in the day, then come back to film. And this powder can be great for just, like I said, just touching up. But I don't love it as like freshly doing my makeup, setting my under eyes with this powder. There's just something about it that's not quite as nice as some other powders that I have. Like I said, for setting my makeup, I prefer my NYX. Also, it's a fraction of the price. But I do think it's a really pretty touch-up powder. So I'm going to use it. I'll use it up, but I don't see myself repurchasing it. These Half Magic Cream to Powder Blushes, beautiful. So these are the Cheek Fluff blushes. These are a cream to powder blush. They come in these biodegradable little, not cardboard, these biodegradable little containers. So I've just kept these in here while I'm reviewing, but these are magnetic pans and you can pop them in an empty magnetic palette. The shades on these are so beautiful. I really enjoy these. I post content on TikTok and Instagram. Of course, you don't have to follow me there. The content on my YouTube channel doesn't change. I'm still bringing you lots of videos every week. But I did post swatches over on TikTok and Instagram. I think they have really good shades. These are very easy to blend. They're easy to build. Under powder, over powder, it doesn't matter. They're really pretty. I'm so happy Half Magic sent me these because I was definitely planning to purchase some, but I'm glad I got to see the full shade range, and they're just really, really beautiful. My favorite way to wear them is under powder, but again, however you want to wear them, they always look gorgeous. Okay, this blush palette from Unearthly Cosmetics was part of the Valentine's Day mystery box. This is the Surrender Glowing Blush Palette, and I love this. It's so, so pretty. These are definitely really glowy blushes. My favorite way to use this is either on top of a cream blush, like those Half Magic, to then go on top with something super glowy, or on top of a matte powder blush, and use these more of a blush topper. That's personally how I love to wear them, but they're also beautiful on their own. Really, really beautiful formula. I love how we have this orange, like a duochrome, this bright pink, and then this more kind of cool toned purpley pink. I really hope Unearthly does more like face trios like this in the future, because that one is gorgeous. This e.l.f. Roller Lash Mascara, Lash and Roll. I said Roller Lash because I'm pretty sure it's like a dupe for like the Benefit. I don't like this. I don't like this. It does nothing for me but make my lashes black. It doesn't give me length. It doesn't give me lift. It doesn't give me volume. It does nothing. And when I'm looking for a mascara, I want it to do everything. Volume, length, everything. This does nothing. Now this mascara, on the other hand, this is the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Mascara. I love this mascara so much. I told my mom to go buy it. I was like, listen, you need this mascara. When it's time for you to buy mascara, you need this mascara. And she was like, okay, I'm going to buy it. So, you know, if I'm telling my mom to go spend her $14 or whatever on this mascara, I really like this. This is really, really beautiful. So I have the black shade. L'Oreal sent this to me, but I already had it in my Ulta cart. I was planning to buy it and try it myself. But this is interesting. So if you want to just use this quickly, just brush it on and go. It's going to be beautiful. But if you want to take the time and use the flat side and then turn it on its side, you're going to get crazy volume and length. I wear this all day. It doesn't smudge. I recently wore this. It was about 16-ish hours, but it was a busy day. Like got up early that morning, put it on, filmed, I did some volunteering with some kids where I was like on the ground up, cleaning stuff up, doing stuff, went about my day, doing normal house stuff. This mascara did not flake. It didn't smudge under my eyes. It didn't transfer anywhere. It stayed looking great. This mascara, love. Mascara is so personal, so it can be so hard to like listen to reviews and decide if you're gonna like it or not. But if you have the same mascara preference as I do, you'll love it. Okay, let's review some of the products that I tried from the Game Beauty collection. Now, Game Beauty recently did a collection with Persona 5, the Metaverse, all this game that I don't know about, okay? But I will do a separate video reviewing palettes. I always do palette speed reviews in a separate video because I love palettes and it takes so much time that I just can't put them all into one video. But I'm going to review the palettes later and we'll review the other items in the collection now. These blushes are beautiful. My personal favorites that I use the most, first of all, I love a pink blush. So I love this one right here. This is Panther. And then the other shade, and this may be the shade actually that I wear the very most, this is Queen. There's something about this muted pinky rose shade that's almost a little on the neutral leaning side that I think is so beautiful and flattering. I also love a red blush, so this one right here is super beautiful. And then we have a purple one. I do have a video swatching everything, showing you everything up close, but I really like these blushes. They're matte blushes and they're super beautiful. I love taking a matte blush like this, throwing on the glowy blush from Unearthly, and I just think it looks so pretty. In that collection, we also had some liquid liners. These are all pigmented, easy to work with, beautiful. I'm so impressed by these liquid liners. There's blues, yellows, greens, white, black, like really, really beautiful. They stay, they don't run, they don't budge. They're really, really nice liners and they have a fine tip. So if you want to do detail work, you definitely can. And then these liquid lipsticks, this is a really pretty, really nice blendable formula. This isn't my favorite liquid lipstick though. It just doesn't dry down and last well. But if you want like a satin nice liquid lipstick that you can blend, these are really nice. The colors are kind of out of the box, but I've enjoyed mixing them and just kind of like creating my own custom shade. So these are just called the Game Beauty liquid lipsticks. I think they're good, but they're not my favorite. They also released some single multi-chromes. These are beautiful and they are relatively inexpensive for multi-chromes. We have some really beautiful shades, really cool packaging. I like that we have variety with the shades. There's some that are very deep and dark, some that are very light and bright, but very beautiful. They're pretty fragile, so you want to be careful putting your brush in there. Just go in with a light hand. They're pigmented, so you don't need a lot, but if you really dig in there too much or press too hard with your finger, you can definitely kind of break the shadow, so do keep that in mind. Okay, I got this Youthforia Chemical Reaction Blush Oil. Now, Youthforia sent me a few things, and I've really been enjoying some of the things that I've been trying from them, but I could not get this to work for me no matter what. It's one of those color-changing blushes that, like, reacts with the warmth of your skin. No matter how I use this, it lifted the products underneath. I've probably been trying this for a few months, actually. No matter what I'll put underneath this, powder, no powder, whatever, it just lifted all the products underneath, and I just could not get it to work for me. So I don't like this one. And then I do like this lip gloss. This is the Dewy Gloss Hydrating Lip Gloss in the shade Play with Fire. This gloss from Youthforia is really beautiful. It does feel very hydrating. It feels nourishing on the lips, and it has a really beautiful package. It has a beautiful shade. It's got some shimmer to it. I love a shimmery gloss. So I've really been enjoying this one. Okay, this lip gloss from Dior. I'm so conflicted about this. Okay, this is the Dior Addict Lip Maximizer in 003. Let me just say, I love this gloss. I really do. I'm wearing it today. Every time I put it on, I enjoy it. It's this beautiful pink, blue, lavender type of color. It's very sheer with some sparkle to it, which I love. But here's where I say I'm conflicted. I'm happy with this gloss. I don't regret purchasing it. I really enjoy using it. But I don't feel like there's a need to spend the price tag on this gloss. So if you've been looking at this lip gloss, but it's a bit more than you want to spend on a lip gloss, I don't think you're going to miss out by skipping this. There are beautiful glosses at the drugstore, or even if you want to pay a high-end price point. Lunar Beauty lip glosses are $18 before a discount code, and those are my favorite lip glosses of all time. Unearthly has lip glosses, I think, $12 before a discount code, which is an amazing price. NYX glosses are usually in the $10 to $12 price point. I like those as well. I don't think you need to spend this much on a lip gloss. That being said, if you want to, I think you'll really like it, because I do really like this. I've enjoyed using it. I think it's beautiful. I don't regret spending. I just can't like recommend a lip gloss that's this expensive. Like, go out, get it. You have to buy it. It's not that serious. But if you wanted to buy it anyways, you wanted to know what I thought about it, I really like it. All right, we're almost done, but I have a few skincare and fragrance to review. So I want to talk about this Pure Tangerine Boy perfume. So good. This is so dang good, y'all. So I do have Missing Person from Pure. I got that for Christmas actually, and I really love it. So this scent right here is a very fresh citrus scent. When you spray this, you are going to smell tangerines, but not in a body mist, overly intense type of way. It's more like if you were standing in a tangerine orchard. Why did I say orchid? Y'all know what I mean. If you're standing in a tangerine orchard and you're eating tangerines and you're smelling, that's what this is. It's so fresh. A little like hint of lemon maybe, but overwhelming tangerine. I love it. Also the component, can we just talk about how much we love a magnetic top? Beautiful to look at, beautiful to smell. Now, Martine Cosmetics sent me their new skincare line. I did see this at Beauty Bay, so I will link this as well as everything else down below. But I'm very picky when it comes to skincare. I don't like to switch up my skincare routine too much. So I've decided to try it out slowly because my skin will freak out if I try so many new things. If there's an ingredient it doesn't like, it will let me know. So I added in 3 of these products to my routine, swapped out some other things. So I want to share with y'all. First, I decided to swap out my evening cleanser. I usually do like a makeup balm, a cleansing balm, and then I go in with a face wash to remove anything else. So this is their gel peeling niacinamide cleanser. I like this. I don't love it. I think if you have normal to dry skin, you will love it because this cleanser is very gentle. You really have to work it up to get a lather, and it doesn't lather very much. So for me, I normally like a cleanser that really lathers, but if you like a cleanser that's a bit more gentle, you will like this. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to use it still until it's empty, but I don't see myself repurchasing this. I think it's nice, but it's not perfect for me and my skin. What I'm very impressed by is this. This is the nighttime serum. So on Beauty Bay, you can go and read all the descriptions of these products in English, but this has a lot of the resurfacing treatments that I like. I stopped using my nighttime serum that I was using, and that one that I normally use is from Glow Recipe. I love it. The Strawberry Smooth or something. I decided to stop using that and just focus on using this one. So I've been using this one every single night since they sent this to me. What was that, 5-ish weeks ago? So this serum has AHAs and PHAs, and it's supposed to help resurface your skin's texture, pores, fine lines, breakouts, anything like that. It's supposed to help hydrate, soften, retexture. I've been using this every night for weeks, and I really like the way my skin is looking. It definitely is beautiful. If you want to support a European-based, woman-owned indie brand, indie meaning independently owned, I really like this. It's super beautiful, and it's very exciting to see a indie brand doing skincare. Okay, this is the night cream. It's a cream or mask. This is a thick hydrating cream. I definitely cannot use this in the day, which makes sense. It's not marketed as a daytime moisturizer. It's a nighttime moisturizer. I don't need this as an all-over moisturizer every night, but I have liked to do that about once a week. Put this on as kind of the last layer and let my skin get really nice and plumped and hydrated. If you have dry skin, I think you will love this. For me and my oily skin, I use it, like I said, about once a week, last layer in my skincare, and I will sleep in it and then just rinse my face in the morning because it's very hydrating. But I have really loved using this around my eyes. So every night I will do my normal skincare routine. You know, I'll do this, then maybe I'll do a lightweight moisturizer, and then I will take just a tiny bit of this and I'll pat it all around my eye to give me some extra hydration while I sleep. If I have a little extra on my fingers, I'll kind of tap it around my smile lines to give that some extra hydration. It's really beautiful. So of these 3 things from Martine Cosmetics, I'm going to keep using these. When I run out, I'm going to repurchase this one. The other 2 I really enjoy. This one I may repurchase. I really enjoy it. If I run out and I feel like I need it again, I probably will, because like I said, a little bit goes a long way and I really like it. But if you have dry skin, I think you would love this as a night cream. All right, y'all, that was a ton of new products that I've been testing and trying. I hope you enjoyed these speed reviews. Do subscribe because I'm going to have speed reviews on palettes coming very soon as well. Let me tell you what is on my eyes. I did film this look. I know for sure it should be up on TikTok and Instagram already, and I will try to put it here on Shorts as well. So definitely check. I've been enjoying creating little tutorials on Shorts, but I am wearing the Inslee Rain Brittany Huffman Midwinter Dream palette. I had a video with this palette, I think last week here on my channel, so I wanted to create another look for y'all. I'm wearing Fenty Beauty Velvet Liquid Lipstick in Riri with the lip liner and lip gloss I already told you about. I'm wearing the Risa does makeup and BK Beauty lashes in Vegas. And then my blush and highlight is a One Size Cheek Clapper 3D Blush Trio in Attention Seeker. So it's the one that's pink, which I love that type of product. I think I told you just about everything else that was on my face. I'm wearing the Glamlite Chucky Black Eyeliner Duo. Loving those, but I want to test them a little longer before I give y'all my review. I'm wearing Too Faced Concealer, Huda Beauty Setting Powder, and what bronzer did I use? Charlotte Tilbury Powder Bronzer. I'm like, let me think. That's everything. I hope you're having a great day. Check the description box if you have any questions, and I will see y'all very soon in another video. Bye!